All right, another car this week. This is the third this week. This week is crazy. Again, this one is on the Delorean Facebook group called Delorean Cars and Parts for Sale, NOS, New and Used. Again, I'll put a link to the sales post in the description. I'm not sure if this is listed for sale anywhere else. And again, this might be, I think this is a closed group, so you'll have to ask to join. 1983 DeLorean DMC-12. This car is located in Los Angeles, California, and they are asking $39,500. We're right on the edge of $40,000 with this one, so we're expecting to see maybe we'll go a little bit harder on this one since it's asking $4,500 more than the ones we saw before. You know, that can pay for a lot of upgrades. You know, that can pay for an upgraded exhaust. That can pay for, you know, a lot of service. That could pay to have a lot of stuff. Oh, hello there. Okay. Mint, 2-owner, 1983, automatic for sale, 23,000 original miles. V6 purrs like a kitten. Automatic shifts, super smooth. Okay, so it's an automatic car. Garage car. Has been driven regularly to shows. AC blows ice cold. Wonderful preserved car. No dents, no scratches, no oil leaks, no coolant leaks, no overheating. Original fuse box without heat damages. Excellent door fitting. They close super smooth. All electrical supply works. And let's see. Okay, he says, excuse the grammar. This is how it's written. It says, I sell this car for a good friend. I sell this car for a good friend. Personally, I owned 2 DMC myself and refurbished a third one, and this one is surely one of the best I've ever seen. So big claims. The first picture here, obviously we're seeing from the back here, and obviously there's nothing that jumps out to me here. Looks good. Maybe I see a little wrinkle in the headliner right there. I don't know. We'll have to see if we get a better look at that. Fascias look good. This is obviously the last hood design here, so there's no hood grooves, and you have the DeLorean logo right there. So this is a later car. As most DeLorean owners know, there are no true 83s. Another shot from the back. Yeah, body looks good. The stainless steel looks good. I'm not seeing like any weird, you know, lifting back here, so hopefully that's good. Louver looks good. Body lines look good. Wheels look good. They've got these exhaust tips on here. I think I think with the stock exhaust, they started welding these exhaust tips on. These fascias look repainted to me, and I'm just going by the bumper color here. That doesn't look like the bare plastic. I think these have been repainted. So if that's a big deal to you, you know, it's probably a good thing. All of them are going to have to be repainted at some point. But original is, some people like original too. You know, it's a feather in some people's cap to have original paint. Okay, these seats aren't pristine. They look pretty good. They're not torn. There's no tears anywhere, so you could probably do some restoration on these. The biggest thing that's jumping out to me though is a wrinkle right in here. And this is a good note for anyone out there researching DeLoreans. You're going to want to know about what I'm going to talk about next. I don't know if that's the case with this car. And what I'm talking about is the speakers. The rear stereo speakers in the DeLorean are behind this panel here, this vinyl wrapped panel. One's over here on the passenger side and the driver's side here. To change that, a lot of people made the mistake. They'd pull the weather stripping off and they would slice the vinyl that's wrapped around there. They would slice it with a razor blade to get that panel off, replace the speaker, only to find that was really kind of structural to what holds that panel on. So once you slice that, that's kind of a problem. The correct way to do it is to pull back this weather stripping here, use a heat gun, and I did this myself. It's not that hard. You lightly go over it with a heat gun, loosen up the adhesive, and you can peel back. You can peel back the vinyl, separate the panel, and then with the heat and some contact cement, you can go in and you can refold it around the piece, put back on the trim or the weather stripping, and that's the correct way to do it. This one looks like it could have been cut. I don't know. I'm just wondering why there's a wrinkle right here. It could just be wear. Again, it's you know, we're talking about 40-year-old cars here. I'm going a little bit harder on this one just because they're asking the additional $4,500 over the other two we've seen. You know, you're not going to find a car that's completely void of any problems. So I don't want you guys to think I'm being like mean about it. It's just pointing it out for the people out there that might be interested, just to know about it. Another thing, it looks like the armrest here is bowed a little bit. I don't know if there's like a heavy person use this car. A person of size is the correct term, maybe, to be nice. But it looks like that armrest is taking a lot. Maybe somebody had to climb, maybe somebody got stuck and they climbed over and it got warped a little bit. And then on this side, I don't see that wrinkling of the... Yeah, it doesn't look like this has been cut. I would be surprised if it was cut over there and not on this side. So maybe it's escaped that fate. So we have some driving gloves in the back. You know, gotta have your gloves. It's funny. And this one is an automatic. I think automatic cars, I've heard people say they're about 50-50, half DeLoreans are automatic, half stick shift. I feel like that's not true though. I'm not sure. Somebody with more knowledge on that could chime in, but I think more of them are 5-speed. But I don't have anything to back that up. I just feel like I see more 5-speeds. This is the later stereo. My first DeLorean I had was in this VIN range 14 years ago, and it had this tape deck in it. And this is one they switched to some point during production. This one's actually more sought after. This is a more sought after tape deck. I think it's more reliable. It doesn't have the display built into the door. That's one thing to look out for on the if you have the original tape decks. The way the door mechanism works, that's what displays what station you're on. And when you put a tape in, that bends, and there's a ribbon connector that I actually had to replace in my car to get it to display right. This one doesn't suffer from that. And you can't get this one anymore. You can get the other one, new old stock. This one you cannot. These are tough, and when they come up, they demand a higher price. So that's a cool little thing about this car, just to, you know, add to your little bit of DeLorean knowledge in the back of your head. If you see this radio, either keep this, don't throw this away, either keep it or put it up for sale, because there are people that want these. The frame's not the cleanest, but it doesn't look like rust. It looks like undercoating. Now, some of the later cars were undercoated in a shipyard. I think once they already got to the States, they were undercoated because they were sitting for so long and they were afraid of rust. Some cars received this at some point before they were sold to their first owners. That's probably what we're seeing. I don't see, like I said, I don't see any rust. These coolant hoses look like they're in good condition. And it looks like we might have the original asbestos heat shield here. My car had the original asbestos heat shield. It doesn't now because the entire exhaust has been pulled off, reworked, and replaced. And I got a new stainless steel one there. Asbestos is a great material for heat shielding. There's really nothing like it. It's fireproof. It's amazing. But you know, if it's deteriorating and releasing asbestos fibers into the air, that's not good for people and causes mesothelioma. So if it's intact, I'm not really worried about it. It doesn't bother me. But if you had one of these and the pulleys or the belts are pulling on it and sending asbestos fibers into the air, it's not good. It ain't good. This one looks fine, though. I don't see any deterioration. August 1982. And you can see the VIN number here. If you're interested in running a Carfax on that or any of that stuff, be my guest. In my experience, not a lot comes up usually when you're searching DeLoreans on Carfax. You might find like where it was registered, like the prior few owners or whatever. If I were gonna shell out the $39,500 to buy this car, I'd probably go ahead and run a Carfax just to see. All right, seeing the top of the door here. These metal trim pieces that go around the windshield, these fade and get old sometimes, so these might have been repainted. I repainted mine, made them nice and black. These ones look good. They got the owner's manual here. Is that really all we're seeing? That's it for the pictures. So no frame picture. We didn't even get an engine compartment picture on this one. So definitely, you know, if you're interested in this car, don't bug the seller if you're just wanting to know. But if you are interested in knowing or you're looking for a car, definitely ask him for some frame photos. I understand not everyone has a lift, so it might be a little bit difficult for somebody to get some really good frame pictures. But he could at least, you know, give you a shot of the engine compartment. We can see what's gone on in there since it left the factory. Let's just go back through the photos real quick to see if there's anything that I missed. Clean. Looks good. Okay, nice. I like it. Tires look good. Looks like a lot of tread on those tires. It's nice. Got those exhaust tips on there. Later cars had those. One other thing I'm noticing here, this has the switch cover. I feel like those are out of stock. I don't know if you can get those anymore. If you post that you want one for sale, you could probably get one. But this keeps your arm from pressing like the window switches or turning on the defrost. He's got all his keys on there. That's funny. He must use this car. Yep, there's that radio. We went over that. This is it. This is all we see. Anything mechanical, this is all of it. We don't get a lot to go on here. To be honest, for 40, I'm gonna need to know more before I know if this price is justified. I don't know what's going on. I mean, obviously he's saying that the AC works, everything's great. But I'll have to do an episode at some point on how to buy a DeLorean out of state. I bought mine. It was in Illinois. I'm in Florida. There had to be wiring of funds, and I used escrow. At some point, I'll do an episode on how to safely buy a car out of state and avoid scams. So obviously, you don't want to just send some money to somebody, just because they got some pictures of a DeLorean. I could get a million pictures of a DeLorean, make a fake post, and be like, yeah, I'll hold it for you for $5,000. Now I get the $5,000 deposit and disappear, and I never even had the car to begin with. So I'll do an episode on how to do that at some point, how to protect yourself in that situation. But yeah, if you're interested in this car, like I said, there'll be a link in the description. If you found this video helpful, give it a like. If you're just a DeLorean guy that's bored at work watching YouTube, give it a like anyway. Just hit that, and you can geek out with me on these DeLoreans, because we love it. We love them. Take it from there. I'm going to just put this up full screen so you guys can get a good look at it. Take it all in. We'll see you next time.